We all want to be heroes. We all want to be a hero in our own unique way. I'm going to touch on that more later on. Hope everyone's enjoying their beautiful Sunday. It's nice out. I got a smile on my face. I'm feeling a bit bittersweet. And I'm going to tell you why. I finished the Miles Morales game today. And people were giving the game a lot of criticism. The fact that it was too short. If people were actually adjusted or understood what the storyline was, that Miles Morales game takes place only a span of maybe a couple weeks. With the Spider-Man game, I feel like people who played the Spider-Man game and then ended up playing the Miles Morales game, they were spoiled because all the extra story, all the expansions on the first game. And I mean, if people don't understand this, the Spider-Man game has been the first one's been out for 2 years now, a little over 2 years. So people are over here saying the game's too short, and they're poking fun at how the game's too short. It's supposed to be short because it's not supposed to be Peter passing the torch fully to Miles. But I'm just because I don't want to spoil anything, but it's people are saying it's too short. I feel like it's fine just the way it is because I feel like if they were to do more expansions and stuff like it, like they did with the first game, people won't have that complaint anymore. And I sure hope so. I sure hopes that I don't know if it means I sure hope more DLC stuff comes to the game because that I'm telling you guys right now, the game's awesome. I believe the game's fun. It's around the same as the first game, but it's different in its own ways, you know. But I feel a bit bittersweet when I finish the Spider-Man games and single player games like that in particular. It's kind of like how I am when it comes to watching movies and stuff, knowing you're still you still love it, but it's damn, it's kind of the game is coming to an end, you know. It's it's how it is when you're following a story. Every story is gonna have to come to an end, and it's always that like I say again, that bittersweet moment. It's the game was so fun, you're not gonna be able to really play it anymore, or there's really nothing left to discover. Even though I have finished the Miles Morales game, I like how these games always give you a little extra stuff, a little extra story behind almost everything that they put out. Because it's not just you complete the story and that's it. No, they want you to enjoy the journey as you're completing the story. That's why they give you a bunch of stuff around New York to have to find, and it puts together other stories about side characters and stuff like that, and helps you unlock new suits. And I like how the Miles Morales game in particular, you don't just craft a suit and you pretty much you do what you need to do. You get all these objectives and challenges done, right? And then there's a little backstory behind the suit itself. It's not just you just get a bunch of cool looking suits with no context behind it. They actually have context behind every suit, which I think was that catches me as a fan, and it catches me as a viewer and as a consumer when it comes to listening and watching the story play out. And I always like it because it's the grand scheme. They want you to enjoy the journey that you're going on, and just don't always look forward to the destination, because once you get to the destination, that's kind of how it is. It's kind of how in the end. That's why they pretty much, long story short, enjoy the journey while you're able to enjoy it. And I might be diving a little too deep when it comes to that stuff, but I mean that's what I take away from playing the game. But yeah, bittersweet. So it's I'm a little sad that I can't. It's not that I can't play it no more, because there's still plenty of stuff I can do. But you can only do so much when there isn't really a big story behind it, or at least a big story in and of itself. After the fact, after you kind of done almost everything, because I think I'm 91% complete, or even more than that, because there's only a little bit left. And I don't know, it just but it captures me as a fan, and it keeps me looking forward for more. And another good thing, because it's kind of I've kind of been on like my little Marvel binge recently, at least playing the Miles Morales game. And then I see on Instagram that they're dropping, I know like Into the Spider-Verse 2 is coming out next year. Same with another MCU Spider-Man 3. And like I've already talked, like I didn't talk about the Spider-Verse 2. I like Spider-Verse 1, I liked it. Spider-Verse 2, I'll look forward to it. And then Spider-Man 3 and they finally released all the Disney Plus dates and for like Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision and those shows. And even some new stuff that they haven't told us about yet. Well, then that they're working on right now. But going back, it's like it gets me excited because I just want to see what they're gonna do when it comes to the Spider-Man movies now, because it just wants you like you just want more, pretty much. It captures your imagination so you want more, so you can want more story and you want to be able to follow Spider-Man even more. And it gets me wondering about like how they would implement Miles Morales in like the MCU, because I know they'll be trying to do their own Spider-Verse and stuff like that in the actual MCU and stuff. And it's been a fantasy of mine. I can't even chalk it up as a dream, because I told you guys before, I want to be all over the place when it comes to this media thing. And like I want this to be my career, whether it's like I want to do everything. I want to be a mogul, pretty much. And if it gets me involved in all the things that I love talking about and captures all my interests, like Marvel and baseball and radio, and just being able to be a personality and just be out there to be my own hero in my own unique way, being able to spread my voice and put myself as a person out there to, like, I want people to see the side of me and see like that's someone who's doing it right, because that I feel like I can relate to someone like Miles, and that's why I guess I like Spider-Man as my favorite superhero and stuff like that, or always my favorite Marvel MCU characters, because you can relate to somebody like that. And I feel like I can relate to Miles more when it comes to like his personality and always wanting to do the right thing. I firmly believe I'm that kind of person. Probably not 100% exactly like Miles. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, everybody's unique, but I can see myself in him. And again, it's like we all want to be heroes in our own unique way. We all want to be our own person. We want people to look up to us, you know. And I know people don't all feel the same way when it comes to stuff like that, but I would like to believe people would agree with that sentiment. Like, we all can look through our own looking glass. Even if it's a different perspective, it should always mean the same thing. Even if people don't agree with me 100%. If that's not what you want to do, but that's just coming from my side. That's from my viewing point. And it makes me, and even in that same thought, thinking about me wanting to do like podcasts, radio, and talk about Marvel and be in movies and even being my own superhero on the big screen and stuff like that. Just dreams like that. And it's always again, like this game has me think about stuff like that when it comes to like crawling and like scratching and trying to push forward. And I feel like I get a sense of empowerment in the sense of I feel inspired when I play those games or see anything about like Spider-Man and stuff like that. Because that's what superheroes do for me, and that's what movies and stuff like that do for me. It puts characters, it kind of puts my thoughts of what like one of my heroes would be, and it kind of, if they have the same similarities, whether it's a character or another person in the real world, if they kind of match that profile, I feel like that's what I can appreciate, and that's how I get inspired. And I remember a friend of mine, he sent me a quote earlier today. And even though I don't feel like I needed it, at the time anyway, like when I first initially read it, and he sent me a Rocky quote. And it says, "Let me tell you, the world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place. And I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you up. It will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody, or anybody is going to hit as hard as life. But it isn't about how hard you get hit, or how hard you hit, excuse me. It's about how hard you get hit and keep moving forward. How much are you going to take and keep moving forward? That's how winning is done. And again, it gets me, it really, stuff like that gets you to really look back on your life and look back at the stuff you have. And I put out a quote out there that I got from Tyrese. If you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys know who Tyrese is. He's in the Fast and Furious movies. And I follow him, and he's kind of like how I would want to be if I was in that position. It's like, he's humble, and he does, like, he always wants to spread positivity out there, even though his is kind of in a rugged way. But that's just how he comes across. But like, his intentions mean well. And he posted that 2020. I thought 2020 was the year I get everything I ever wanted. But knowing now, as it's coming to an end, 2020 is the year I learned to appreciate everything that I have. And that really resonated with me because, again, I look back and see the stuff that I have in front of me and the stuff that I have with me right now, whether it's people, whether it's like the position I'm in right now, because I could be worse off in many different aspects. And it's too many to count. And seeing that type of positivity in the world and building that, and again, that's what the Spider-Man games have brought me. And it's a lot more than just the games and the character himself and stuff like that. That's how I see all my interests and all the stuff that kind of makes me. Again, if it fits that profile of what I've set out in my mind, that's what garners my interest, and that's what makes me appreciate it. And seeing stuff like that always puts a smile on my face. And kind of switching gears just a little bit, because talking about how, like, pretty much talking about future and talking about the life stuff, and kind of touching base with you guys about how I am as a person. I'm wondering how life is gonna be like when stuff actually starts getting back to normal, because it's not gonna be like with the span of a day and stuff like that. Because I know they're working more and more every day about a vaccine for this virus and all that stuff. And there's people saying they're not gonna take it and this, that. And if you don't want to take it, I mean, hey, that's fine. Do what you want to do, but if you can't just sit up there and then people have really, really a vast imagination. It's out there. A lot of people's imaginations are out there. And I'm not even gonna talk about most of whatever conspiracy theories and stuff like that. I'm not even gonna bring any of those up. But I would say to you, if you guys have the option, just make a good judgment call. But that's all I'm gonna say about that. When it comes to having life going back to normal, I just don't know how long it's going to be when we can consider it back to normal. Because you guys got to believe that stuff isn't just going to, all right, back to how life was before, February of 2020. And, you can just do whatever, this, that, and the other, all these guidelines and all that stuff. But I'm just hoping that when some of these restrictions start getting lifted, and we can actually say we're getting back to a normal, and we're able to kind of enjoy each other's company and being able to hang out with friends and have social gatherings, and it's not going to be seen by people as a people aren't going to scratch their head at the idea even though I'm seeing more and more people every day kind of trying to treat it like everything's normal. It's not. But I mean, I feel like it's progress at the end of the day when stuff starts getting lifted and stuff seems like it's starting to get back to how it used to be. And I look at that as an opportunity to kind of really start pushing forward into the future. And it gets me excited. It really does. It really does get me excited for the things that we all, like, or at least including myself, that we can do. And, like, getting all those doors that kind of were, like, slammed shut because of this virus and everything hitting the fan. I'm going to learn to enjoy everything. I'm going to learn to enjoy all the stuff that was taken away during this year. When it comes to, like, going to the movies and things like that. And I'll say you guys should do the same. And I would even say, in the same breath, try to do something new. Because I know every time there's a turn in the new year, and so 2021 is going to be my year. And, like, people have said that when it comes to every year, you know. I would say this to you guys. Try to learn to take leaps and bounds and just try stuff that you wouldn't have thought you would have done before, like quarantine, all this stuff. But just learn to enjoy the new stuff that you're going to learn to discover when stuff starts getting back to normal. Just like, I don't know, even make a bucket list or something, you know? And just try to get to where you want to be, and then just enjoy the ride. That's all I'm saying. Because I don't think there would ever be a time like this where you're going to be home this much. And just I would like to believe a situation like this won't ever happen again, at least in my lifetime. Here's hoping, you know. I really do hope it doesn't happen again, to be honest with you guys. But yeah, definitely go out there and try something new. But that's going to be all the time I've got for this episode of OnSight. But guys, it's been fun. But always remember, just learn to love what you do. Find that one thing that's going to carry you on for the rest of your life, when it comes to, like, your career and stuff like that. And remember to always smile. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of OnSight. Remember, every Sunday we on here, we're going to be talking about life, culture, NBA, sports, and stuff like that. I'm out. Love you guys.